Welcome back to Official Sigma Male, the only channel that truly understands the mindset and challenges of the modern Sigma male. If you've ever felt completely out of place in certain work environments, wondering why everyone else seems content with mediocrity while you're burning with the need for something more meaningful, this video is for you. Today, we're diving deep into the 6 jobs that every Sigma male absolutely cannot stand working. These aren't just careers that are challenging or demanding. These are positions that fundamentally clash with the Sigma's core values of independence, strategic thinking, and authentic leadership. Understanding why these jobs drain your soul isn't just about career advice. It's about understanding your own nature and protecting your mental health in a world that often misunderstands the Sigma mindset. If you're tired of feeling like a square peg being forced into round holes, if you're ready to understand why certain work environments make you feel like you're slowly dying inside, then make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're building a community of men who refuse to settle for conventional paths that don't serve their true nature. 1. Corporate middle management. Picture this. You're a Sigma male who values autonomy, strategic thinking, and direct results. Now imagine being trapped in the suffocating world of corporate middle management, a role that goes against every fiber of your being. This is where dreams of independence go to die, and where your natural leadership instincts are crushed under layers of bureaucratic nonsense. Middle management is essentially professional purgatory for the Sigma mindset. You're stuck between upper management's demands and your team's needs, forced to play politics instead of focusing on actual productivity. Every decision must be filtered through committee meetings, approval chains, and corporate protocols that seem designed to waste time rather than create value. Consider the daily reality. Endless meetings where nothing gets decided. Performance reviews based on subjective criteria rather than concrete results, and the constant pressure to manage up, essentially kissing up to superiors who often know less about the actual work than you do. For a Sigma who thrives on efficiency and direct action, this environment is psychological torture. The worst part? You're expected to motivate and inspire a team while having your own hands tied by corporate red tape. You see the solutions, you know what needs to be done, but you're forced to navigate through layers of approval that slow everything down to a crawl. It's like being a race car driver forced to navigate through traffic jams every single day. Take the example of project deadlines. A Sigma naturally thinks in terms of optimal resource allocation and strategic execution, but in middle management, you're dealing with budget constraints imposed by people who've never done the actual work, timeline pressures from executives who change their minds weekly, and team members who've been demotivated by years of corporate dysfunction. You become a translator between incompetent leadership and frustrated workers, rather than actually leading. The promotion trap is real here. Many Sigmas get lured into middle management, thinking they'll have more influence, only to discover they have less real power than they did as individual contributors. You trade your expertise and autonomy for a fancy title and the privilege of attending more meetings. It's a Faustian bargain that leaves you spiritually drained and professionally frustrated. 2. Customer service representative. Imagine being forced to smile and apologize for problems you didn't create, to customers who treat you like a verbal punching bag, all while following scripts that insult your intelligence. Welcome to customer service hell, where the Sigma male's soul goes to die a slow, painful death. Customer service is fundamentally incompatible with the Sigma mindset because it requires you to suppress every natural instinct you have. You're trained to be submissive, to never challenge unreasonable demands, and to prioritize customer satisfaction over logic, fairness, or even basic human dignity. For a Sigma who values authenticity and strategic thinking, this role is pure psychological warfare. The script-based nature of customer service is particularly torturous for the Sigma mind. You're given predetermined responses to complex problems, forced to follow flowcharts that often don't address the real issues. When a customer calls with a legitimate complaint, your Sigma brain immediately analyzes the root cause and identifies the most efficient solution. But company policy forces you to waste time with irrelevant questions and procedures that help nobody. Consider the daily humiliation. Angry customers screaming at you for corporate decisions you had no part in making, supervisors monitoring your calls to ensure you're being customer-friendly enough, and performance metrics that reward compliance over actual problem-solving. You become a professional apology machine, absorbing negativity while being prohibited from defending yourself or offering real solutions. The powerlessness is what truly breaks Sigmas in this role. You can see exactly what needs to be done to fix problems, but you're constrained by policies written by people who've never dealt with real customers. A billing error that could be resolved in 30 seconds gets stretched into a 20-minute ordeal because you must follow the prescribed steps, even when they're clearly ineffective. Take escalation procedures, for example. A Sigma naturally wants to resolve issues efficiently and permanently. But in customer service, you're often instructed to deflect, delay, and exhaust customers rather than actually solve their problems. You're taught techniques to make people give up rather than strategies to create genuine solutions. It's the antithesis of everything a Sigma stands for. The social dynamics are equally crushing. You're surrounded by colleagues who either genuinely enjoy the submissive role or have given up entirely on professional growth. The workplace culture rewards conformity and discourages the kind of independent thinking that Sigmas naturally excel at. You're paid to be a doormat, and any attempt to show backbone or innovation is seen as not being a team player. 3. Retail Sales Associate. Step into the world of retail sales, where fake enthusiasm is currency and your success depends on your ability to manipulate people into buying things they don't need. For a Sigma male who values authenticity and genuine human connection, this environment is a masterclass in everything wrong with modern commerce. Retail sales forces you to become someone you're not. You're expected to greet every customer with manufactured excitement, to push products based on commission potential rather than actual customer needs, and to maintain a cheerful demeanor even when dealing with entitled, demanding shoppers who see you as less than human. The performance pressure in retail is designed around extroverted, people-pleasing personalities, the exact opposite of the Sigma approach. You're judged on metrics like customer engagement, upselling percentages, and your ability to hit daily sales targets that often require you to be pushy and manipulative. Your natural tendency toward honest, straightforward communication becomes a liability in an environment that rewards theatrical salesmanship. Consider the psychological toll of the daily routine. Standing for 8+ hours, plastering on a fake smile for customers who often treat you with contempt, being micromanaged by supervisors who monitor your every interaction, and competing with co-workers in an artificial environment that pits everyone against each other for commission dollars. The inventory management aspect particularly frustrates the Sigma mind. You can see inefficiencies everywhere: poor product placement, inadequate staffing during busy periods, inventory systems that haven't been updated since the Stone Age, but you have zero authority to implement obvious improvements. You're just expected to work around these problems without questioning the system. Black Friday exemplifies everything wrong with retail for Sigmas. You're forced to participate in a mass manipulation event where crowds of people lose their humanity over discounted merchandise. You watch rational adults fight over televisions and see families destroy their relationships over shopping schedules. It's a dystopian nightmare that makes you question everything about consumer culture. The worst part is the complete lack of intellectual stimulation. While your mind craves strategic challenges and meaningful work, you're stuck folding clothes, restocking shelves, and having the same scripted conversations hundreds of times per day. Your brain atrophies while your spirit slowly dies from the meaninglessness of it all. 4. Telemarketing and cold calling. Welcome to the ninth circle of professional hell, where Sigma males are forced to become professional annoyances, interrupting people's lives to sell them products they don't want, don't need, and probably can't afford. Telemarketing represents everything that's wrong with modern sales culture. It's invasive, manipulative, and built on the foundation of dishonesty. For a Sigma who values genuine relationships and authentic communication, telemarketing is psychological torture. You're literally paid to lie, to create artificial urgency, and to exploit people's weaknesses and insecurities. Every call requires you to pretend to be someone's friend while secretly trying to separate them from their money. The script-based nature of telemarketing is particularly insulting to the Sigma intellect. You're given predetermined responses to every possible objection, trained to overcome resistance through manipulation rather than genuine value creation. When someone says, "I'm not interested," you're taught to ignore their clearly stated boundary and continue pushing. It's a systematic assault on basic human respect. Consider the daily reality. Spending 8 hours in a cramped cubicle, making hundreds of calls to people who immediately hang up on you, being yelled at by strangers who rightfully see you as an invader of their privacy, and having supervisors monitor your calls to ensure you're being manipulative enough to hit your quotas. The rejection rate in telemarketing is soul-crushing for anyone, but especially for Sigmas who naturally prefer quality over quantity in their interactions. You might make 200 calls to get 5 people to listen and maybe 1 person to buy something they'll probably regret later. You become a professional rejection collector, building calluses on your ego just to survive each day. The ethical complications are what really destroy Sigmas in this role. You're often selling overpriced products to elderly people, pushing credit cards on people who are already in debt, or promoting services that you know don't deliver what they promise. Every successful sale makes you complicit in someone else's financial problems. The competitive environment is equally toxic. You're surrounded by people who've either embraced the manipulation or have become so desperate for money that they've shut down their conscience entirely. Success is measured purely by your ability to extract money from strangers, regardless of whether you've actually helped anyone. 5. Traditional teaching in public schools. Imagine having genuine passion for education and intellectual growth, only to find yourself trapped in a system that actively discourages critical thinking, creativity, and authentic learning. Welcome to public education, where the Sigma male's natural teaching instincts are crushed under bureaucratic indoctrination and standardized mediocrity. Traditional public school teaching forces Sigmas into an impossible position. You entered the profession to inspire young minds and create real educational impact, but you're immediately confronted with a system designed to produce compliant workers rather than independent thinkers. You're given rigid curricula that must be followed regardless of student needs, and your success is measured by standardized test scores rather than actual learning outcomes. The bureaucratic nightmare is what kills most Sigma teachers. Every lesson plan must be approved, every teaching method must conform to district standards, and every student interaction must be documented according to policies written by administrators who haven't been in a classroom for decades. Your natural innovation and adaptability, core Sigma strengths, become liabilities in a system that rewards conformity above all else. Consider the daily frustrations, spending more time on paperwork than actual teaching, being forced to teach to the test, instead of fostering genuine curiosity, dealing with parents who see you as a glorified babysitter rather than an educational professional, and watching brilliant students lose their love of learning because the system turns education into a mechanical process. The disciplinary policies are particularly frustrating for Sigma educators. You can see that certain students need different approaches, that one-size-fits-all punishments often make behavioral problems worse, and that many problem students are actually just bored by the dumbed-down curriculum. But you're constrained by zero-tolerance policies that remove all nuance and professional judgment from classroom management. The union politics create another layer of frustration. While unions can protect teachers from administrative abuse, they also often protect incompetent educators who've given up on actually teaching. You're forced to participate in a system where seniority matters more than effectiveness, where innovative teachers are discouraged from standing out, and where the lowest common denominator becomes the standard for everyone. The standardized testing obsession is particularly soul-crushing for Sigma educators. You watch as subjects like art, music, and critical thinking are eliminated to make room for more test prep. You see students' natural curiosity being systematically destroyed by an education system that values compliance over creativity, memorization over understanding, and conformity over individual growth. 6. Insurance sales agent. Enter the world of insurance sales, where Sigma males are expected to profit from people's fears while navigating an industry built on complexity, confusion, and calculated deception. This career represents everything that conflicts with the Sigma's desire for straightforward, value-based relationships and ethical business practices. Insurance sales forces you to become a professional fearmonger. Your job is essentially to convince people that catastrophic events are more likely than they actually are, then sell them expensive policies with fine print designed to minimize payouts when they actually need help. For a Sigma who values honesty and authentic relationships, this creates an immediate moral conflict that grows worse with every sale. The product complexity is deliberately designed to confuse customers, making it nearly impossible to provide genuinely helpful advice. You're selling policies with dozens of exclusions, deductibles that change based on claim types, and coverage limits that most customers don't understand until it's too late. The entire industry profits from information asymmetry. You know more than your customers, and you're incentivized to keep it that way. Consider the ethical gymnastics required daily, pushing whole life insurance on young people who would be better served by term life and investments, selling unnecessary coverage add-ons to meet quotas, and presenting statistics in ways that maximize fear rather than provide accurate risk assessment. You become complicit in a system that exploits people's natural desire to protect their families. The commission structure creates perverse incentives that directly conflict with customer service. The policies that pay you the highest commissions are often the worst deals for customers. You're rewarded for selling complex, overpriced products while being penalized for recommending simpler, more cost-effective solutions. Your financial success becomes inversely related to your customers' financial well-being. The continuing education requirements are particularly insulting to the Sigma intellect. Instead of learning about genuine risk management or financial planning, you're trained in new sales techniques and updated on regulatory changes designed to protect insurance companies rather than consumers. You become an expert in exploitation rather than actual insurance knowledge. The claim denial process is where the industry's true nature reveals itself. You sell policies promising security and peace of mind, then watch as the same company that pays your commission finds creative ways to deny legitimate claims. You realize you're not selling protection, you're selling the illusion of protection. And when people need it most, the system is designed to fail them. The workplace culture celebrates manipulation and deception as business acumen. Top performers are those who can extract the most money from customers while providing the least actual value. You're surrounded by people who've either embraced the predatory nature of the business or have become so financially dependent on their commissions that they've rationalized away their conscience entirely. The truth about being a Sigma male in today's work environment is that most traditional career paths weren't designed with your mindset in mind. They were created for people who thrive on external validation, who are comfortable with hierarchical structures, and who find fulfillment in playing by someone else's rules. But that's not you, and that's exactly your strength. Understanding which jobs to avoid isn't about limiting your options. It's about honoring your authentic self and channeling your energy toward work that actually amplifies your natural abilities. Every Sigma who's found true professional fulfillment has had to navigate past these soul-crushing career traps to find their real calling. The jobs we've discussed today aren't just incompatible with the Sigma mindset. They're designed to break down the very qualities that make you exceptional. Your independence, your strategic thinking, your ability to see through superficial social dynamics. These aren't flaws to be corrected, they're superpowers to be leveraged in the right environment. If this resonates with you, if you're ready to stop apologizing for being different and start leveraging your unique strengths, then this channel is your home. Subscribe now because we're just getting started. Every week we dive deeper into the Sigma experience, providing the insights and strategies you need to thrive in a world that doesn't always understand you. Your authentic path is waiting. Let's find it together.